All right, we'll just get straight into the questions. What's your name?
My name's Jose Martinez.
Can you tell me a little bit about your childhood?
Childhood. So I'm just starting off. We were talking about earlier. I'm a immigrant
Yeah.
from Mexico, a city called Chignahuapan, Puebla. Right. Great place, great city. You know, I got here when I was six. Got here when I was six. And about the child, just struggling, man. Struggling. Childhood is just, it was tough.
Yeah.
Cannot lie. Even to this day, we still have our little struggles,
Yeah.
but we gotta, be optimistic. I had a loving mother.
Uh-huh.
Never grew up with my father.
Uh-huh.
I'm the youngest from five,
Yeah.
five brothers. Um, and so yeah, um, it was tough, but it was also loving. You
Yeah.
know, and you learn a lot. You learn a lot through childhood. So yeah,
What were your dreams as a child?
um, it was always helping people, and maybe like a personal career. And till this day, race car driver, man.
Race car
I
driver?
love cars, bro. Love cars. The physics, the science behind it, and so yeah, and also helping people, bro.
Yeah.
That gives you a fulfillment. To be honest, like inspiring someone, talking with someone, and seeing their hopes go up,
Yeah.
seeing their self-esteem go up, is just like you can't compare that, bro. Honestly, you really can't compare any of that. You know what I'm saying?
So, can you tell me a little bit about the relationship with your dad? And if he wasn't there, either the closest person to that male figure or just how it felt not having him there?
So yeah, not was not close to my dad. He was incarcerated
Yeah.
when I was uh, 11 months. 11 months. Never got, to spend time with him, of course. I remember being in Mexico still, really young, really young. I would say 4 or 5. It's crazy. I still remember we'd go visit him inside. It was just a quick, hey, how you doing? Stuff like that. I'd go play around in the playground. They had a playground, and my mom would chop it up with him or whatever. Um, but yeah, really never had that guidance, to be honest, bro. Um,
How
other
did it feel not having him?
it's regular.
Yeah.
To you at first, I mean, you're not, to you it's regular. You see your friends with their dads, you see all of that, but to you it's normal. You have your mom, she's mom and dad.
Yeah.
But of course there's times where you miss, even though you never, in my case I never was with him,
Yeah.
but you miss that.
Yeah.
You miss that. Um, Closest to that was maybe my older brothers. I have two older brothers. Um, and yeah, you learn, it's not the same, but you learn some stuff from them. The good things. You try to keep the good things.
What about your relationship with your mom?
Good, good. I cannot complain. We have our ups and downs, bro. Um, it's it gets bumpy when you grow up. As a teen,
Yeah.
you might be there's things you probably don't understand,
Yeah.
and there's probably things you disagree with, whether you're right or she's right or vice versa. But to this day, it's okay. It was worse before. You know,
Yeah.
um, Sometimes like I said, it's our fault. Sometimes we feel like people are they're not close to us,
Yeah.
but we push people away.
Yeah.
We don't see it. We're blinded.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gotten better. It's
How does
gotten
that relationship feel with your mom now?
um, it's gotten better, but I feel there could be definitely like better improvement. But it's great. I mean, like there's people that have it worse,
Yeah.
and then there's we could be better, but there's people that have it worse. You know what I'm saying? But we're blessed. We're blessed.
What'd you learn from both of your parents?
Um, you could say love. You know, uh, Love story. They actually met doing business.
Yeah.
Doing business. So But like I said, I never saw them together, so you can't really say, I can't say much about, knowing about them together or learning.
Can you tell me about your first love and how that felt?
To be honest, I mean, if you're talking about
It
like,
can be a person, or it
yeah,
can also be a hobby. It can be a thing. It can be something you just identify like, man, I love it.
right. I'd say the cars,
Yeah.
the cars. First love, bro. I mean, like ever since I was a kid,
Yeah.
you'd see me with my little Hot Wheels.
Yeah.
Talking about family, my mom,
Yeah.
my brother, bro. Second to oldest, he passed away, but he was, you could say my first love as well. Great loving guy, very humble, very quiet, and sometimes you learned a lot from people like that. You know, he was very young, 24, and I was 16 at the time. So that's one of my first loves. Also, if you want to go, in a romance type way, high school, first girlfriend, she was nice. Great memory. I still have love for her to this day,
Yeah.
something you don't forget. Good memories. But yeah, you could say family wise, mom, brother, and yeah, most importantly, you know,
What about your first loss or heartbreak?
I would say my brother again, just because I was so young.
Yeah.
I had not gone through any of that ever. I mean, like losing a family member.
Yeah. What happened? Mind
Um,
me asking?
it's bad companies. He had bad companies. He was here in L.A. and he went back to Mexico. It was like he was gonna go and come back. Just bad companies, bad friends.
Back
Um,
in Mexico.
yeah, back in Mexico. He was actually coming back already, and certain things happen. People are gonna backstab you.
Mm-hmm.
People are gonna backstab you. Sometimes you think uh, your friends are your friends, and they're not. Sometimes the money, you know, the bad companies is decisions. You got to make wise decisions. Um, I knew he was a good guy. He wasn't like into no crazy stuff. He loved his family. He left two my nephews who I love so much, man. They're like my kids now. He left that for me. Um, that was probably one of the hardest things I've gone through. Probably like my biggest loss. I remember in high school. It was a high school weekday. I get home and literally like my whole family's there, bro. Like on the sofa, and I'm like, what? Like what's going on? There's all my family unexpected. It was just a regular weekday, and I see everybody weeping. Everyone's crying, and that's when you get a sense of thought. Okay, something popped, something went off, something went wrong. And my oldest brother just comes up to me, and I mean, just tearing up, bro. I was like, what's going on? Like, it was just like a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he just tells me, they found your brother. They found your brother dead. And it was a shock. First time being into shock, dropped to my knees. And it was just something I can't really explain, It's just like it's like a movie, bro. Like, and it's crazy because you think that would never happen to you.
How do you think you've coped with that or dealt with that?
Okay, there's another. This is I got into drugs, not heavily, started lightly,
Yeah.
but then that became my reality. I was never in the street,
Yeah. Yeah.
thank God. I was never in the street. I never overdosed,
Yeah.
but it was just more of that street culture. Go smoke some weed, partying. Girls, all of that. That you feel you cope with it, and at the moment you might be happy, but then you think like, okay, is this real happiness?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's how I cope with it. To this day, I try to just understand why things happen. Sometimes we don't. We're just we're ignorant. We don't know why things happen. I believe everything happens for a reason. From the day we're born to the day we already have our date set. I've try to get the best out of it. To be honest, follow an example. Maybe he had friends he shouldn't have been with. I use that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, um, at school, I remember when it just happened. They offered because they noticed. The teacher actually noticed, and I told them what happened, and they offered what is that therapy.
Yeah.
And I was 16, 15, to be honest. Family wise, me and my mom and my brothers, we weren't really connected in that way. Get along and talk about our problems and stuff like that. So she was always working, my mother. And so never got therapy, but to this day I try to understand. Things happen for a reason, and we use those things to learn. We got to learn from that and appreciate. He has his the kids he left, my nephews. Like I said, they're like my kids, bro. They're like my kids. Every weekend I spend with them, it's like I'm with him.
Yeah.
And I definitely feel his spirit with his kids, identical to him. But to this day, we still cope. Uh, Being optimistic, man. I know one day when I leave this earth, I thought about this. When I leave this earth, I'm gonna see him. Because we're told they're up in heaven, and we're all going there, and I get that like sense of like calmness or happiness.
Who would you say first taught you what love is and how?
I would say my mother.
Yeah.
Yeah, just loving. Be nice, be humble, help others. Always say thank you. I feel like that resembles love. That all resembles love. Yeah, family, aunts, just even you go to the house and they offer you a plate of food, a genuine gesture. I feel like family, but most importantly my mom. Yeah, my mom is what taught me love.
What's love to you now compared to what it was then in your earlier days, and how did those two loves feel differently?
I feel love now is genuinely caring about somebody, truly genuine. Like not how are you once in a while, or maybe even that. But as long as you do it truly and genuinely, and you wish the best for somebody, not just financially, but psychologically, even physically. You tell somebody, hey, you gotta work out, man. I want you to live longer. I want you to live longer, and just well-being, man. Someone's well-being, true well-being, in every way. Financial, emotional. Back then, it was just like, younger. You're just, hey, what's up, bro? With the homies or whatever. You say, homie love or whatever.
Yeah.
But like I said, that's sometimes nonsense because we're just so ignorant towards that.
What's a good day for you?
I feel a good day would be I love the beach, like Malibu, right here, San Pedro, whatever it is, just nature, being with family, I would say,
Yeah.
just having a good time, man.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say like money or fortunes. I mean, I want what I want. I do want that. I know one day I will get to that financial level, but to me, honestly, it's just something genuine. Like I said, family. I feel like that's what matters, bro. I'd rather be like they say. It's so common. I'd rather be in my Honda, like happy and genuinely at peace with myself, loving myself, than in a mansion, lonely, no friends. Because that's where when you're in that, how can I put it down? That fake, mediocre lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
You're worried about everything but love. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's being, most popular or comparing yourself to others. So, yeah. Yeah. Family, yeah, like I said, perfect day, probably good food,
Good food.
good music, beach, family, friends, and good cars, man. Fast cars. It's you know.
On the opposite end of that, what's like a general bad day for you, and during that bad day, how do you get through it?
Um, I would say when things don't go my way, maybe whatever it is, maybe at in the job you mess something up, or there's probably not a good connection with somebody. I'm those type of people. I try to be good with almost everything. You know, uh, some people say perfectionist. I think there's good and bad to that.
Yeah.
But a bad day would probably be things not going my way. I probably don't feel good, health related, headache, or stuff like that. I try to cope with that. Just taking care of myself. Taking care of myself. Understanding, we're all gonna have bad days. Bad days are, it's normal. It's part of life. It's mandatory, I guess, too. Humble down
Yeah.
sometimes, and and yeah, just try to understand. Like I said, everything happens for a reason. So.
What are two things or people that have shaped you, good or bad?
Um, I would say just that fake lifestyle, bro, into the bad, you know. Like I said, partying, mediocre lifestyle. We were just talking about we got to be on top of it. We're not born here to have a regular life,
Right.
and so that messed me up, for a bit. That
What
kind
do
of.
you mean by the mediocre lifestyle? You can describe it more.
I feel like, just maybe that's the way I see it. Some people live that and they don't recognize that. You know what I'm saying? But just like I said, just helping people, bro. Not worried about just yourself. You know, um, and just being humble, bro. To be honest, it's just in other words. Just um,
How did the lifestyle you said, the partying and that lifestyle, and it's that it was kind of a bad thing that shaped you that ended up being a good thing. But like describe that scenario for us. Like when you were in that lifestyle, what was it like?
um, it's you think you're having fun, you're blind, and so once you get out of that, you compare, like crap, that lifestyle I was having.
Yeah.
Once you have a clear mind, you're not drunk or you're high or any of that. You compare, the good and bad, and you think, okay, well, I was really not good when I thought I was, and I feel like that shaped me because like I said, now I'm doing different things that bring me true, genuine joy, even to your health, mental health, to your family, just being misguided or lost back when I was drinking, your family sees that and they feel for you, and there's that bond that breaks. And, talking about family, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
That breaks, and so that breaks my heart, to be honest, because I don't want to, I don't want to be that guy that your family doesn't mess with you because you did this or that.
Yeah.
And so it was that what changed me, what kind of like pushed me to be like, what, like I said, we're here for we're only here once. Make the best out of it, bro. The drugs, the girls, the parties they're not gonna be there for you. My aunt once told me, when you have troubles or a problem, you see either your dad or your mom. You reach family, first than friends sometimes. And blood ties, man. Blood unites people. But yeah, that's how it changed me. Something good that shaped me, I would say, going to church, bro. Just righteousness. Righteousness helps. I was never, I never loved church as a kid. I wasn't intrigued, but that seed stays planted. All of that just helps you out. You mature, you grow older, and then you're like, okay, they were right. They were right with things, you know.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that shaped me for the good. Also, experiences helping people, like I said, you know. I feel like that helps you be different, you know. Um, it gives you another like thought of why your purpose of being here, having a purpose in life, you know. It's to help others, bro. You know, help others, be there for people who need you. I feel like when we go through things, um, once we kind of manage to cope, we could seek people that have gone through it or are going through that, and so through your experiences you could help. I got a lot of friends that have gone through some things I've gone, and I kind of try to tell them, hey, this happens because of this, or don't worry, this is temporary or stuff like that. So helping people, yep.
What's inspired you?
I think what's inspired me, being in the situation that I am.
Can you describe that situation for us?
Just, well, what do you mean inspiring by? I'm sorry.
It's up to you, bro.
You know what? I grew up in a humble home, bro. So I want it all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I want what's mine.
Yeah.
Not so-called minorities.
Yeah.
We could do everything that other people do. Whether I'm talking about financially, whether it's you could say people with power.
Yeah.
I that inspires me. Being at the bottom sometimes, kind of like I want to help my family,
Yeah.
my mom.
Yeah.
Even we grew up in the hood. That kind of just pushes me. You want to get out of that. You want something better. I'm always have love for where I grew up, because that shapes you.
Yeah.
We struggle.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, there's better things.
Yeah.
That inspires me. Seeing, I've worked in West Hollywood, good areas. I'm just 20 years old, and I see young entrepreneurs, bro, and I'm like, okay, they could do what I can.
Yeah.
If they could, manage the way they do, have the things they do, I want it too. And I feel like we're all humans with a great amount of virtues. Skin color is just a color. My brain does the same thing that a doctor's does. It's all about how bad you want it, execution. So that inspires me. I want to help out my legacy.
Yeah.
My future generations. But most importantly, my family, my mom, my future family, my wife, my kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, I have big dreams, bro, to be honest. Like, I've gone through stuff. I didn't even mention this. My father passed away, too.
Yeah.
Did I mention that? Sorry. And so, all that, like, just, pushes me. All the trouble. I don't want to stay down here,
Right.
And so, yeah, that's what inspires me, knowing.
What's been a humbling experience for you?
Humbling experience. When you think you're right at all times,
Yeah.
you're like enlightened. You could say you're enlightened, supposedly, and you kind of treat people different. You might think, oh, they're ignorant. My family's ignorant, or they don't know what they're talking about. That humbles you, because you understand you're not perfect,
Yeah.
and then you don't know everything.
Yeah.
We might be, you could say we're blessed to be, maybe have something other people don't,
Yeah.
but then you can't really, you can't get over your head.
Right.
You gotta be, humble. That's what humbled me. That's what really got me to, like, because you close your own doors, you push. It's like self-destruction. You gotta humble down. Also, I had an incident where I almost lost my life driving, recklessly. I like driving just the sport. But okay, so I was in Malibu once, and drifting actually, canyons.
Yeah.
And so, I had an incident where I was going up and there was two trucks coming down.
Yeah.
And I was already going sideways, taking over both lanes. It's narrow over there. And it was either the trucks or there was a mountain. So, to not hit the trucks, dude, I had to hit the mountain. That humbled me down because, when I was,
How bad of a wreck was it?
it was pretty bad. I didn't fix the car. I didn't have money for it, bro. Like the whole knuckle broke off, almost flipped. That humbles you, You're reckless, you think the world is yours. And so, you always find better ways to do things. I don't have my car, the one I had. And so, stuff like that kind of just puts you in your place, in a way.
How did you feel that after the wreck? How would you describe emotionally that humbling event?
It felt. Wait, give me one sec. So you feel blessed to be alive from a situation like that, but you just kind of it makes you think, It makes you think like, okay, I gotta calm down. I gotta think clear, with clarity, have more clarity. Just not taking stuff for granted. That's how things humble you down. Just be more safe. Practice. This life is a never-ending experience. We never stop learning. We never stop growing. And, it's just, yeah. That's about it.
Go in your mind and think. This life event can be mental, physical, or spiritual. Tell me about a time in your life that you can relate with the word war.
War. I feel like it's all aspects, it's crazy, It's like in your mind, it's like one world, and then physically there's another world. It was mentally, physically, and emotional, you said?
Just, it can be spiritual, physical, or mental. Just an event that you're like, man, that felt like war that you had in your life.
My relationship with my stepfather.
Yeah.
It was tough, man. Tough. I was still young, new guy. At first, you're young. They play with you.
Yeah.
Everything's cool. Everything's not too bad. You grow, people change. It was a tough experience. He was just a mean guy. Bad temper, really bad temper. It was just kind of manipulative. He was a manipulative person towards my mother and me, because it affected the whole family.
Yeah.
Even my older brothers. It kind of just that represented my mom.
Yeah.
People like just feel a certain way when things like that happen. It was war because there was just so much contradiction,
Yeah.
But to this day, it's not the best relationship.
And he's still married to your mom?
They're still married. But I feel like that had a lot to do with my childhood.
Yeah.
In high school, I remember it was just he wasn't abusive, any of that. Maybe, spiritually, yes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Verbally, yes.
Yeah.
And so I feel like that played a big role. It was some type of anger.
Yeah.
People just bring anger towards you, bro, that you really don't feel before, And so yeah, it was just not a good thing, you know.
How'd you deal with that? How do you deal with that?
Maturity. You deal with it, you know, through maturity. At first, you don't know, you know, you someone screams at you, you scream back, you know.
Yeah.
It's like you apply the same.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we're like, oh, you know, this guy's
Yeah.
so whatever, but we act the same. Maturity. Now, you know, there was something I didn't like. To avoid problems, stay quiet, bro. Stay quiet, or don't talk more than what you have to. You know, tone, everything. And I just did that for the, you know, for the love of my mom, bro. Um, I, you know, it was crazy. You know, just having a, you know, a fight, a verbal fight, and you know how that goes. You know, it messes up everybody. I remember my mom like crying sometimes. You know, just because things weren't right. You know, between me and him or them. You know, so you deal with it with maturity. You understand, okay, let me be above this person. You know, you're bigger than that. You know, and that applies with life. Anywhere, you know, you have a, you know, some type of argument with a, you know, anyone in and out or whatever. You know, you gotta be like, okay, I'm gonna let this go. You know, let it go. I don't want it to mess up my day. You know, and so. Yeah.
So same type of question. Go in your mind and think this life event can be mental, physical, or spiritual. Tell me about a time in your life that you can relate to the word peace.
Peace. I would say now. Yeah, I'm at a, you know, stage in my life where I'm understanding things, forgiving myself, forgiving people, and so you get that sense of peace. You know, understanding that just things are gonna get better.
Yeah.
Things are better than before, and just realizing, you know, just that it's like a evolution. You know, life is an evolution. I would say now I feel way more better, physically, like you say, mentally. Um, you know, no more partying. You feel better, more rested.
Yeah.
You know, um, less anxiety.
Yeah.
You know, from all the, you know, things that are not good for you. But yeah.
Can you tell me about a truly difficult time in your life, how it felt and how you endured?
I would say moving in to the States. I remember I was just so young.
How old were you when you came to the States?
6.
Yeah.
I was 6, bro. Just new, you know, like a movie, you know, you like Karate Kid, you know, you're new, no, you don't know the language,
Yeah.
no people, the places, you know, it was tough, you know, just moving in here. I remember going to school and just being scared, anxiety. My mom would walk me in, you know, she'd leave and I like start tearing up, you know, just adjusting to everything. That was really tough. Um, you know, you get here with nothing. We were talking about that earlier. Our parents sacrificed. I gone through it. You know, I went through it. Being an immigrant it just shows you a different perspective of life, and you know that was tough. Moving into here, adjusting, racism, you know, even your own people sometimes can be, you know, a certain way, you know. So that was tough, you know.
Do you have like a story to encapsulate, kind of encapsulate that experience?
Mm.
You know, there's so many dynamics happening. You know, you're young, you're an immigrant, you're in a foreign land, and you have to learn everything new. How was it? Do you feel that you've experienced some racism in LA?
Of course, of course. Um,
How so?
okay, so when I'd work at West Hollywood,
Yeah.
you know, it's just you say you know, it's Hollywood.
Right.
Just the gestures, you know, the energy,
Yeah.
the attitude, not being humble, just that when they look at you different, you know, and it puts you down. It puts you down, but I feel like once you understand that, you understand people are ignorant. You understand people have hate in their heart.
Yeah.
You don't feel as bad. You know, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. You know, we're worth gold. You know, I feel like us Hispanics,
Yeah.
we're a different bloodline. You know, we have power, pride,
Yeah.
unity,
Yeah.
family, love. You know, everything.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, it was tough at the beginning. You know, you feel less.
Yeah.
You know, um, there's people that are rude. You know, being younger, you don't understand that. Um, Anger, you know, wrath. I've always been a peaceful guy though.
Yeah.
You know, I've never been into fighting or anything, but just that, you know, and I'm very sensitive. You know, like towards that sensitive guy. You know, in a fact that I want my respect.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
so that get me upset. You know, stuff like that. So, and I feel like we all deserve it. You got to give and get it. You know, respect is a big factor.
What keeps you up at night?
Dreams, bro. Dreams, aspirations. You know, at nighttime is when you think the most. You know, when you're trying to succeed. It's when you get ideas too.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I feel like it's from God sometimes. You know, um, as an entrepreneur or a creator or stuff like that. Sometimes you just, you know, your mind is racing and you're thinking about that subject, and you know things just come up.
Yeah.
Creative, you know, we're blessed with creativity.
Yeah.
You know, so that keeps me up at night. You know, I have big plans for myself. I actually talking about that. You know, we got into this. I want to launch a clothing brand.
Yeah.
And I know this is kind of cliche. You know, everyone's launching clothing and you know, but meaning. I have a meaning to mine called the Blessed Souls,
Yeah.
No Limits.
Yeah.
It's kind of long, but you know, we abbreviate it. You know, TBS,
Uh-huh.
No Limits. It's about we're blessed. We've been through the fire.
Right.
We all been through stuff.
Right.
You know, whether it's a physical death,
Right.
spiritual, mental.
Yeah.
You know, uh, you know, people go through it, and we're still here for a reason. We're blessed. We're the blessed souls.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? For instance, me, my example, and I know I'm not the only one. You know, this happens to everybody. Physical death. You're close to it. You're close to it more than once,
Yeah.
and you're still here breathing, going through stuff. You know, I see the videos you guys put. People go through stuff with their stepfather or father or mother, um, and it's traumatic. And we're still here, you know. We're still here. We're still, a lot of us are still in our right mind,
Yeah.
and we're blessed,
Yeah.
you know, just for many reasons. We don't even see it sometimes, you know. We don't even see how, like, saved we get, you know. I feel like that's just a good reason. And no limits to the brand is no limits in life, bro. You know, we could do whatever we want to. You know, our mind has power. Our words, our thoughts have power. They give power to our soul. And I feel like there's no limits. You know, if you want whatever you want, go get it. You want to be a doctor. You want to be a baseball player. You want to be an Olympian. You know, go get it. No limits. You know, I want big stuff for me. You know, businessman. I one day, you know, my father was a businessman. You know, I want that. I want to help people. You know, foundations, nonprofit. You know, no limits, no limits. That's part of the brand. You know, the blessed souls, no limits. And I feel like that could, you know, reach. You know, it could reach to people. Because it's not just clothing, but it's a message that you portray. It's therapy, you know, in a way. And I feel like, you know, if you stand for that, you know, it's a really positive thing,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
What
yeah.
keeps you going every day?
My family, my family. I would say my mom, like I bring her up a lot. My mom, my nephews, nieces, brother, sister. Um, that's what keeps me up, you know, family, man. And it's funny, you know, from party,
Yeah.
fake homies,
Yeah.
you know, whatever, to that family. That's what keeps me up, wanting better. And yeah, it applies to the brand, man. No limits.
Imagine you're in the hospital today with only hours to live. What would be your regrets?
Regrets would be wasting time, you know, precious time, seconds we never get back. Um, I feel like that would be my regret, you know, doing what I could have done. You know, it's funny. I saw a video yesterday. You know, Gary V. If he sees this, shout out. You know, um, regrets. You know, you can't. You know, you can't live your life wasting your time. He talks about, you know, being, you know, 80 years old, and it's those that, you know, 20 years you don't have anymore. You know, 10 years you don't have anymore.
He says his only fear
Yeah.
is being old and being filled with regret.
Right.
That it's even sad to see an old man with regret filled in his eyes. Like it hurts to see somebody with regret.
Right.
And if you ever meet somebody with regret, it is kind of painful to watch and listen.
Yeah.
And you have the opportunity not to be that person, right?
Exactly. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's intense.
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, just even thinking about it, like, I sent it to a couple of friends that I really care about.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you know, we can't waste time, man. We're born once.
So you're alive, you're gonna make it. Do you feel you can change or make amends with that regret?
Yeah, yeah, of course.
You told me what your dreams were as a kid, and I think we just talked about your dreams right now. So if you have any more dreams to add on to that, what are your dreams now?
Dreams now, being in just growing,
Yeah.
growing in every way, growing in you know, financial state, mental, physical, um, maturity. You know, us man, you know, we have a big job,
Yeah.
huge job, huge job. You know, we go through a lot. We experience a lot, and it's like sometimes we're like babies. You know, we're big babies.
Yeah.
You know, we learn, and we go through failure. You know, so that's the goal, growing in every aspect, bro. Yep.
You're the author of your life, but what's your picture perfect ending?
Um, family, no divorce.
Yeah.
You know, um, nonprofit organization helping people. Um, wealth, but humbleness
Yeah.
with it. You know, um, and just good legacy, leaving. You know, I want when my mother passes away to be happy and proud.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You know, being a righteous person is what truly makes me feel good. You know, so that's the ending story. Being a G, like I said, you know, I bring up the cars, bro. I know one day, you know, you gotta speak into existence a race car driver. You know,
Yeah.
courses. You know, close courses. That's my passion. You know, aside from many other things.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So you still want to be on the racetrack still,
Yeah,
closed off, just doing your thing because you have the time and the opportunity to do it.
it's a passion. Yeah, I'm still pursuing it. You know, I'm on my way. You know, I want to buy a car again, race car, and practice a lot. You know, I actually work as a mechanic,
Yeah.
and just starting, and you never know you never know who you're gonna run into, man.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like one day, you know, I tell my buddies sometimes, hey, you're gonna see me on TV one day. You know, and it's that, it's that. Aside from every other thing I want to do, the cars, entrepreneurship, businessman. I want to invest. Investing, bro, is dope. It's just like, Goya, the that like a 10.2 billion, Hispanic, food product, and if you invest what like a million, get 1%. I think 1% of 1 billion is 10 million. Stuff like that. That nonprofit organizations and being righteous. Those things, many things, man. I like music too. Music.
Throw it in there. Yeah.
Too much, but never too much, no limits. But music, music is a passion, I've got, you learn a lot with it, beats, that's pretty dope too, maybe, just, I'm cool with like being, friends with, someone like I say J. Cole.
Yeah.
He's so deep, deep guy, just his depth, understanding, the world in a different way. Not talking about, partying, whatever is just so hype, So that, and yeah, sums it up, man.
That's it.
Sums it up.
Yeah. Interview.
All right, cool.
Good.
Hey, man. Hey.